Hello, everybody. Thanks for being here. Thanks for your patience as we worked out a funky little audio issue, which turned out to not actually be an issue. But
Hey everyone. Yeah, well, I don't know. I think is there still some audio issues there? Andy, you sound like you've got a flanger on your voice or something.
yeah, you've got that too, but I think it just might be, it is what it is. Let's just roll with it.
It is what it is. Can everyone out there hear us loud and clear though? No flangers? All right, good.
Steve's flangery for me, but I'll take it.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on there. Well, hello everyone. So yeah, thanks for coming. So how many people have we got then? Let's have a look. So geometry, how's it going? Munbear, Chord, a few others. DK, Anthony, how's it going, bro? Ryan Stack, Vivan, is it? Sanjana, good to meet you. Yeah.
Sweet. It looks like most of us that are here are actually going to the retreat. So that's pretty cool.
That's good. Yeah.
So we wanted to use this webinar just as an opportunity to do a few things. I mean, it's an opportunity for those who are going to the retreat to all gather together and ask questions and help prepare for the trip. It's also anybody that just wants to know more information about the retreat. Maybe you're on the fence about it. So we're here to answer any and all questions, and just anybody that just has any questions regarding audio alchemy in general. We're open to anything. So we have a few questions from some people that sent in questions that were not able to be here. So we can cover those first, and then we can just move on to a live Q&A. So if anybody has any questions at all, you can just pop them in the chat box on the right at any point during the call.
Well, should we maybe before we get into questions, should we just give a bit of a overview on where we're at and what we're doing for the next month? That might stimulate some ideas in people.
That's probably a good idea. You want to roll with that, Steve?
Sure. Yeah. Well, I'll just give a quick check-in then. So yeah, well, I just got back from tour. I was out in the mainland for a couple of weeks, so that was kind of keeping me busy. And I got back here on like April 1st. And yeah, just all about the retreat. Really, we're so excited. It's full speed ahead now. So yeah, from my point of view, I'm working a lot on actually doing research now, like music research. Really just getting deep into my tools and techniques and journaling that, and planning sort of lessons and ideas and things. We're working on the schedule, which is, it's kind of, we have this nice kind of like 7-day schedule, and we're just working out exactly who's going to be speaking when, and like how to fit all that, fit all the knowledge together, and all the different speakers. So that's coming on really nice, and I'm absolutely thrilled to bits. I got to say, this is just growing into so much more than I ever anticipated, and we have just an amazing community of musicians and artists like converging on Hawaii, and yeah, I'm really just blown away. It's like a dream come true. So yeah, I just want to thank you all. It's you've signed up for a truly amazing experience, and we really have it dialed now. We've been it's been 2 years since we started this. We've done it a bunch of times. We've been through the alchemy in the beginning. A lot of the alchemy and the audio stuff was a bit tenuous. We were exploring the links between audio and alchemy, between music and alchemy. But now, 2 years on, it's like the links are deep. Where the message is becoming like really clear and really strong and really potent. So yeah, I'm just thrilled to bring together so many great minds to explore music and alchemy together in this beautiful land, Hawaii. So yeah, so I just, that's kind of what we're working on now. We're just pulling it all together and helping everybody to get their things booked, their accommodations booked. We want to help you get as prepared as possible before you get here as well. So, so that you're not, dealing with technical issues or whatever on the first day. we the first day can be a bit challenging like that. Everyone's like obviously just got there. They're setting their gear up. They're acclimatizing to the island. They're taking on all this new knowledge, all this excitement and everything. So like the first day can be a bit of a challenge as everyone starts to get settled. So we want to help you be as prepared as possible for your arrival at the retreat, so you can just like slide right into it and just get down to the business of creativity and alchemy. So yeah. What do you reckon, Andy? Are we gonna do this? Oh, I can't hear you, man. I think you've lost your
started raining. I'm just really stoked about all of this, and I can't wait to meet you all. There's a lot of new people coming, a lot of past participants. Yeah, the family is growing. So right now, pretty awesome news. We're at 58 participants, which is great. Just for contrast, so have we done 3 or 4 retreats? I think 3.
3 retreats and 2 sort of mini, like 2 or 3 day things,
yes,
like at Cosm and stuff. But so yeah, probably 5 or 6. Yeah, 5 sort of larger
so
events.
Our retreats had averaged around like on the smallest one was about 15, and the biggest was like around 25, 26, I think. So we've well more than doubled our biggest turnout. So it's going to be great. And the venue that we're at this time is totally next level. We're taking over an entire retreat center on the coast, walk away from the beach. You guys are gonna, it's got a pool, hot tubs,
and it has a pool,
multiple studios. Like, you guys are gonna flip when you get there.
Yeah, it's a fair bit of an upgrade from the place we had before. Although the Hawaiian Sanctuary was perfect and beautiful for what it was. It's just a much more of a resort. The Hawaiian Sanctuary is kind of a farm, a permaculture farm, and it's kind of beautiful. But this is a sort of dedicated retreat center, kind of resort space. So yeah, and a short walk from the beach, which is a massive bonus.
Yep. It's going to be great. And the old venue, Hawaiian Sanctuary, that's our new festival venue. So we'll be doing the festival at the end of the retreat at where we used to hold the retreat. So you guys will still get to experience that. All right. So should we get into some questions? All right.
Sure.
All right. I'll start with the ones that were submitted. So, all right, I'm just gonna run through these. So Jonathan from Israel asks a few questions about applying for a visa to USA. What's the address to the retreat? What's the phone number? What's the airport name? So, okay, so key thing here, the airport that you're gonna fly into is Hilo. All right, the code for that is ITO. So there's 2 airports on the island. Hilo Airport is about just under an hour drive from us. And the Kona Airport is like a little over 3 hours drive. So definitely you're gonna wanna fly into the Hilo Airport. Also, the transportation to and from the airport to the venue is all being facilitated by the venue, Kalani, and they'll only pick you up if you go to Hilo. So if you fly into Kona or whatever, you're kind of on your own. So highly recommend not doing that, even though you might be able to save a little bit of money on the flights. The extra travel expenses and hassle is going to make it probably not worth it in the end. So anyways, that covers that. So Hilo Airport, that's really important. Other thing about the visa, so you can follow phone number and address and all that stuff for the venue is on their website. But a really important thing I want to mention to any of you that are having to get a visa, I can't remember who it was. Was it Rupak? Yeah, I think it was Rupak. So think he's coming from Malaysia or Singapore or something. Yeah, Singapore. And he said that he went to the customs office with the acceptance letter email that we sent and showed that to the customs person, and they gave him a 10-year visa, no questions asked. Like, he breezed through it, and the customs agent said it was the best acceptance letter to anything they've ever read, and totally loved it. So if you need to get a visa, take your acceptance letter with you. And you can also get the address to the venue. Just go to kalani.com, and you should be good to go.
Yeah.
So yeah, he actually said that the customs agent took on like an alchemy voice and like was like, "Oh, welcome to the you're accepted." Like, it was hilarious. He said it was hilarious. So anyways, that's good news, because I know there's a few of you that need visas. So hopefully that's clear on the visa and airport front. So
yeah, if you're from one of the sort of visa waiver countries, which is a big list of like countries, like European countries and Australia and Canada and all this, yeah, you just need an ESTA, is it ESTA or ETSA? ESTA, yeah, ESTA. It's just you just apply for it online. It costs like $10 or something, and you get a fairly instant acceptance, as long as you don't tick the box that asks you if you've ever been a terrorist or things like that. Then you should get a pretty quick acceptance for just a temporary visitor visa. If you need, usually all you need when you arrive like into the States is the address of the place you're staying, so just make sure you have Kalani's address from their website, and that should be all you need. You may get asked questions, you may not, but so it's good, like Andy says, good to have the acceptance letter and that kind of thing with you in case you are asked questions. But so I think if you're like outside of the visa waiver countries, then the visa process is a bit more involved, like with RUPAC. But if you're in the UK and a lot of Europe and all that, then it's just an ESTA, and you should have it within a few moments after submitting it.
All right. So I think that covers that. All right. So Mr. Squatchy asks, I have some Splice.com rent-to-own plugins that require internet to work for authorization. Will there be internet in the lab? So the internet in this area is absolutely terrible, right? That's the first thing to understand. Like, I would definitely encourage you to not expect to be doing a lot of like internet-based work while you're here. I mean, so to be clear, there is a connection. You can connect to the internet. I mean, we're doing it right now. But especially at Kalani, they have a very, it's a very slow connection in the grand scheme of things, and the entire place is sharing that connection. So trying to download stuff is basically out of the question, but you'll be able to connect to the internet. So to answer that question, if you're using Splice or whatever, you'll be fine. I'm not sure if there will actually be internet connection in the laboratory itself. You might need to like hop over to another building for a second to authorize, but either way, it'll be fine. There will be internet, I guess, is the simple answer. Okay, so Rupak asks, this is more of a general comment. Can you start a Facebook group or event inviting all the participants so we can have a place to connect this community? Well, that's part of what we're doing right here. There's a few other things. So we do have a Facebook group. We haven't really been using it so much because we've kind of been a little bit jaded on Facebook lately, and just haven't really been investing a lot of energy in it. But we do have a Discord server, which is basically it's like a chat app. So I'm going to give you guys the link to that. Come on now. Invite. All right, so I'm gonna pop an invite link into here. So if you go here, if you don't have a Discord account, it'll let you sign up. It's super easy, and then you'll have access to our Discord server, which is like, it's kind of like a hybrid between a forum and a like Facebook Messenger chat app. And we're always hanging out here. So like this is the easiest place to chat with us and other alchemists. This is where we do all of our like team communications and stuff. So if you're not on there, get on there. And then we're also working on a membership platform that everybody that's coming to the retreat, you guys will get access to that before the retreat. And so you'll basically be the first beta testers, and everybody that's coming to the retreat is going to get lifetime access to the membership platform we are building. Yeah.
Yeah. We have got really big plans for where we're going to go with Audio Alchemy after the retreat, and it's super exciting. Yeah. So yeah, we look forward to like just getting you guys on board, and yeah, just what happens with the retreat is just a huge amount of energy is going to build up while we're there. You know, you can think of it like a kind of cauldron or a crucible, and all the artists that come together are like different sort of chemicals like to put in the mix, and it just it builds and builds, and everyone is just like so inspired by the end. So yeah, we want to have a really good online home set up and ready for you guys post retreat, so that we can like cruise into the summer with all that energy built up. And yeah,
this is just the beginning, guys. Awesomeness.
So yeah, Don was asking what date do the classes begin, and what time should we arrive on the 2nd?
I can take this one. I'm a little bit more closely familiar with the schedule. So basically, the scheduling is like this. Check-in at Kalani, their official check-in time starts at 4 p.m. So if you can arrange your flights that you land in Hilo midday on the 2nd, that's going to be perfect. Because even if you land there in the morning, they'll come pick you up from the airport. And then they'll take you to Kalani, and if your room's not ready yet, you can just hang out at this resort in Hawaii. And it's pretty awesome. Definitely, you're gonna want to be there before dinner on the 2nd, because we'll be doing our first opening ceremony on the evening of the 2nd after dinner, and then the following morning we're going to be doing a sunrise ceremony, which is really going to be the official kickoff of the retreat. And that'll be. We're going to be basically leaving at like 5 a.m. to go to a park that's close by and have like a little sunrise ceremony. So, I would say just arrive whenever on the 2nd. Don't arrive too late. If you want to be there early or late, you can extend your stay just at like a day rate. So I would recommend, ideally, like my ideal stay would be to arrive on the 2nd, midday, and then stay an extra night after the retreat. Because the retreat ends on a Sunday, and Sundays are very lively around here. So it would be really awesome for those of you that are coming to be able to just chill for an extra day. So that answers that. All right, so let's go back to a few more of these pre-submitted questions, and then we'll move on to the live questions. So John McGowan, I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing that right. Anyways, John, hey bro. Hey dudes, are you going to be using Ableton 10 as your basic tool, or rather are many tutorials going to be using techniques only available in 10? I'm looking at the upgrade pricing at the moment and it's not pretty. Cheers. Okay, so yes, we're going to be using Live 10. Some of the things we're going to be teaching are Live 10 specific, but it's by no means going to be a deal breaker for you. I know that. Now that said, Steve and I are going to be teaching with Ableton, but Grouch uses Fruity Loops, FL Studio, and I know he uses Ableton a little bit for like live stuff.
Yeah, so yeah, Grouch and Symbolico. I mean, Symbolico uses Cubase, and but they both use Live for their live shows, and so they're well versed in live. But yeah, I mean, I just recommend it because, like, say even if Ableton isn't your DAW of choice, then generally people still use it, you know, because it's so good for live performance and DJing and all that. So it's kind of an essential tool in the arsenal. But yeah, as to whether or not like you know, Live 10, Live 9, as John is asking, I would recommend just getting the 30-day trial. It's like a free trial for 30 days. If you download it like a week from now, then you'll have it right through until the end of the retreat, fully functioning Live 10 trial. But yeah, you know, most of what's going to be done is not going to be specific to Live 10, although there will be some specific things because there's a lot of cool new features that are really neat for what we're doing. So yeah, I just, you know, just come prepared to make electronic music. That's what I say. You know, if you've got some synths and, you know, some drum machines and samples and, you know, a sequencer, then, you know, you should be able to take the knowledge. But, you know, Andy and I will be using Live 10 and Push 2 because for us, it's just the absolute dream workflow.
I mean, at the end of the day, the honest truth is that you could show up with Live 8 and just the stock default stuff and be able to make some really dope music with it. Because there's all these like bells and whistles with Live 10, but at the end of the day, it's just taking rough audio bits or, you know, synthesizers and then turning it into music. So I wouldn't overthink it. Just do your best. And like Steve said, if you don't have Ableton and you're not really prepared to buy it, just get the trial on like the 15th so that you have the 30-day trial last through the retreat.
Yeah, it's definitely worth having, and there's heaps of stuff comes with it as well. You know, there's all these like packs you can download, like lots of drum kits. You know, I was going through some of these drum kits last night, and they're great. You know, just like really, just, you know, it lets you really quickly get going with ideas. And of course, the new synthesizers and effects in Live 10 are really good fun as well. So yeah, that would be our recommendation. But you know, just make sure you're good to make a noise, and you should be able to apply.
Also, I just want a quick little note. I'm going to pop a link here in the chat. So for those of you that are registered, we sent an email out. I think that was yesterday. If you didn't get that, let me know, and I'll make sure you get it. One cool thing is we got free licenses for everybody that's coming to the retreat for a couple really high quality instrument rack packs from this company, Elephant. Anyways, with that you'll get like drum synth kits where you can actually like really quickly and easily synthesize your own entire drum kits just with 8 macros. And then it's also got a lot of really, really high quality instrument racks of different things like pads and leads that are all just really high quality, and it's all Ableton based. So the discount code is in the email we sent yesterday to everybody that's coming to the retreat. Ryan Stack, I had difficulties downloading these with Google Chrome. I had to use Internet Explorer. What do you? Can you clarify what you're talking about? I'm not sure what you're referring to. All right, so let's see, what else we got? Michael Patrick asks, I sent my tuition, but reserving my lodging is kind of hard to figure out. I'm looking at the site, but I'm at a loss. Okay, so the lodging bookings happen right here. Let me give you guys the link. Oh, interesting. Okay, so yeah, if you have trouble downloading the Elephant stuff, yeah, try a different browser. All right, cool. Moss, I'll send you the thing. So, all right, just put a little note for myself. Send you that. Yeah, they're really, really. I was super like I stumbled upon this guy's site and was just like totally impressed by just the level of quality, both in terms of design and the quality of the sounds. And told him about the retreat, and he was like, "Here's 80 licenses to my 2 best packs for everybody." So awesome. It's like $50 worth or so.
Yeah, that's really nice. Yeah. I hope we'll get more More treats
yeah.
like that for our alchemists.
So I guess I got a little
Yeah.
sidetracked there. Here's the, oh, okay. So I put the link for the, for Kalani. Basically, on Kalani's website, there's a listing for our retreat. And on that listing has all the prices and the availability of the different rooms. It should be live updated, so it should actually have any rooms that are not available anymore crossed off. Yeah, it looks like they've been filling up. So, well, everything you need there is there. And so with Kalani, and actually, I think there was another question that this ties into. Yeah, okay, so there's 2 questions from Dan, so I'm just gonna click start answering on both of those. So basically, Kalani is handling transportation to and from the airport, lodging, so like beds, and food, right? And this is all, there's 3 items, 1 package, and you book it all directly through them. We're not touching or handling any of that. So basically what your options are with, like, there's the food, which is just a meal plan. You get 3 meals a day. That's that. The airport pickup and drop off, I can't remember how much it is. I think all the info is on the Kalani website. It's like $50 one way or something like that. And then as far as like options of level of comfort, I guess I could quickly talk through these different options. So on the retreat listing on their website, they've got these different lodging options: cottage, loft, treehouse room, bungalow. So the lodge rooms are the most inexpensive rooms, and they're basically, it's kind of hard to explain. There's basically like a large studio, kind of like a yoga studio, and then there's multiple rooms that are kind of in that studio. So the studio kind of is like the living room, so to speak. And there's going to be a lot of you guys are going to be staying in these rooms, and one of the main studios is going to be a shared space. One of them is going to be a jam studio. We're going to actually have like a whole studio set up where people can come in and jam, and the other one's going to be a library, where we're going to have books and all sorts of stuff. And so if you stay in a lodge room, that's going to kind of be the environment, the vibe. It's going to be a little more like kind of a music producer dorm experience or something like that. If you want something more private, you want your own space, then look into the other options. On our website, we also have like some pictures of each one that you can, here, I'll give you that link as well. Oops. So like, basically the cottages are the most lush, right? And they're tucked way out. They have their own space. You'd have your own zone. They have like huge bathtubs in them, and they're just really cool. They're these like bamboo cottages. They're pretty sweet. That's the highest level. And then looks like the lofts are all sold out. Treehouse rooms are cool. Bungalows are cool. So yeah, basically the treehouse and bungalows are kind of like the mid-range ones. And those are going to be a little more private than the lodge rooms. And if you want like ultimate privacy and lushness, go for a cottage. So again, I hope that clarifies. Oh, if you guys want to see the rooms, you can go here. Scroll down a little bit. So yeah, the shared bathroom is basically, there'll be like in the lodge, there'll be a bathroom that maybe 2 or 3 of the rooms will share. And then if it has a private bath, I think that means that there'll be an actual bathroom, like kind of in the room that no one else could access except for those who are staying in that specific room. So the lodge private bath is still connected to the other lodges. Yes. Mm-hmm. Yep. Yeah, it's kind of like in a bedrooms or something like that, like with a big yoga studio as a living room. It's pretty sweet.
Yeah, I gotta say, I mean, the accommodations are super nice there. Everything I've seen is like lush. It very much taps into the the natural lushness of the Hawaiian environment, and yeah, like staying in lodge with other other artists and things. I often, when I'm on tour, that's very often the case. I'm like bunked up with other artists, and that's always heaps of fun. I mean, it's but at first you don't know who you're going to be with or whatever, but yeah, it's going to be like-minded people, and easy to get along with, like family. So yeah. But if you've got the extra money and you want the privacy, then
Yep.
yeah, go for it. Get the cottage.
Also, just while we're on the topic of accommodations, if you, for some reason, are not staying on site, like maybe you're a local, that's the only reason I would recommend you not stay on site, is if you live like right next to the retreat center. If you are not going to stay on site, if you're local or whatever, you still have to book a meal plan with Kalani, which is basically also gives you access to the site. Without the meal plan, they won't even let you come on property. They have it's a very like tightly contained place. And that option for just the meal plan on the retreat listing on Kalani's website, it's the off-site commuter option. You'll see that there. That's what that means. It's just basically food and site access. Okay, and then we already kind of answered this, but I'll answer it again anyways. So Dan's asking, I'm landing the day before. Is there any way I can crash somewhere, stay an extra night? Yeah. So Kalani is you could stay as long or late as you want at Kalani. I believe that they'll have rooms available. You could stay an extra week before and after. So that's good. And I think it's whatever the day rate is of how much you're paying for the room. You could just extend it on a day-by-day basis, and you could just have the same room for extra time. Is that clear?
Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, I just want to address those points here about Kona. So I was talking about this yesterday. There's already a bunch of other people flying into Kona. Patrick Noble asking about it as well. Will Sachs. I think we're probably going to have to work with some of our Kona buddies to arrange a Kona transport on May 2nd, because I think quite a lot of people are going to be flying in there. I know I know in some cases it's not worth it, but as someone who flies a lot, I can tell you it's like sometimes it's hundreds of dollars cheaper and much quicker to go to Kona. So yeah,
one option
we'll have to work something out there.
I think we'll figure out a way to work. We'll get a list of everybody that's going to Kona, and we'll get you guys all connected together and let you guys sort it out on your own. You guys could all go in on a rental car or whatever you need to do to get out here, and we'll also connect you with our friends that are in Kona and coming from Kona to the retreat. Now, that said, most of them are going to be coming out before the retreat start day to help set up. So I don't even know if any of those people are going to actually be in Kona on the 2nd. So anyways,
we might have to work something out though, because I think the numbers are gonna build up. So yeah.
Okay, so yeah, we'll help facilitate that.
Yeah, because the thing is, there isn't any public transport.
There's one bus.
One of the things about Hawaii is
Hilo to Kona, and it just has one trip. It does, and it takes the entire day to do it.
Yeah, it's like there's no trains or taxis or Ubers or anything like that. So it's not trivial getting across the island. But we'll get a list of everyone who's flying into Kona. We'll speak to some of our Kona people and see what we can arrange. But
I just want to say last thing, just on the note of booking your lodging. There's a lot of the Kalani website and the listing. It's not super clear. There's a lot going on. If you want, this is the direct link or direct email to the person that is handling all the bookings. So if you have any questions, you can just email sam@kalani.com. And yeah, turo.com is cool for car rentals. And that's what people have done in the past is
Mm.
like one person will rent a car and then a bunch of people will chip in on it or whatever. So, okay, so Dan asks, sorry if not covered, meal plan is not included with stay. So the meal plan is if you book a room, if you book one of these room options, lodging options, your meals are included with that. Okay, but the meals are not included with the retreat tuition, the Audio Alchemy side of things. But when you book a room, if you book a room, you get meals covered with that. If you don't book a room because you're staying off site for whatever reason, you need to still register with Kalani with the off-site commuter option. And just so you guys know, the off-site commuter option is for people with a Hawaii ID. It's $462. And then if you don't have a Hawaii ID and you're not a local, it's like 800 something, and it's only like $200 more to get a room. So like, it's just
and you know, to get the room and food for that length of time, 3 meals a day for $1,000 is actually the best deal you'll get like anywhere in the Hawaiian Islands. It's I mean, you're talking about $89 a night or something for 3, you know, quality meals a day, plus the room. So it's a really sweet deal, you know. But I know it can be a big expense, the whole thing with the flights and the Audio Alchemy and the room and everything. But it's a really sweet deal for a beautiful spot in Hawaii. Definitely worth getting the room at Kalani. And just sharing with other people. If you don't want to spend all the money, just share.
On the topic of food, we could talk about food for a second. So at our last venue, the place it was not vegan but vegetarian. There was a lot of vegan stuff, but it was all vegetarian. And for most people, that was fine. And some people, it got a little old after a little while. Good news for everybody is that no matter your dietary preference, you're gonna be stoked at Kalani because they serve everything, and it's all like, it's much more it's just a much more professional, it's a real kitchen, like it's an actual restaurant. And every meal is gonna be different. There'll be a meat option, a not meat option, a vegan option. You get everything. They've got a full like salad bar for every meal that's just super dank. Like I could just eat their salad bar and be super stoked. That's always available. And then also between meals. So somebody was asking about like, should you bring snacks and drinks and stuff? So that's an important thing, is that you do not want to have any like open containers of food in your rooms. There's fire ants out here, and you do not want to wake up with those in your bed, and they will find your food. So basically you can have unopened stuff, but as soon as you open it, get it out of the room. Kalani has like throughout the day, and they've got like a toast bar where they've got like cereals and toasts and jams and peanut butters and jellies and all that kind of stuff always available. They've got tea and coffee always available, all hours of the day. There's always going to be fruit available. Like you really don't need to bring anything, to be honest. You'll be good. Yeah, the food situation, it's going to be dank. Like you guys are all in for a treat, for those of you that are coming. What I would say so on that note, bring a little bit. What you will want to do is bring a little bit of extra cash for. One night, I think we're going to go to Uncle Robert's night market, but I think that's after dinner, so that would be optional. But you could get food there. For those of you that have been to the retreat in the past, you know what the night market is. It's awesome. It's like, I don't even know how to explain it. It's just great. So there'll be the night market, and then another key thing is that the day of the festival is that the 11th? Yeah, the 11th. Kalani's gonna. We're going to eat breakfast at Kalani, and then we're all going to be shuttling up to Hawaiian Sanctuary. And at Hawaiian Sanctuary, we're going to have vendors set up with like really, really dank food. And we might be able to get Kalani to send us with like a bagged lunch, but you guys will be on your own for dinner. So make sure you bring like at least, you know, $20 for the night of the festival to get your food. I think that covers food.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I think we'll be very well taken care of at Kalani. But there's a small general store about like 10 minutes drive along the road. But yeah, the town is probably about like 30 minutes drive away or something. And so we don't really want to be going back to Pahoa town.
Yeah, you can.
Unless it's absolutely necessary.
So Dan, when Kalani picks you up from the airport, I'm pretty sure they let you do like a stop. And you could stop at the natural foods market and grab some lemons. There is farmers markets and stuff too, which will have lemons as well. And you could probably even find lemons on property, honestly, or close by. But yeah, there is local markets. So let me just double check to see if there's any other questions that came in on the website. Do you guys have any other questions at all? Oh, here we go.
Well, Will Sachs is asking, saying he needs to leave on the 11th.
All right. So you need to be back in Boulder on the 11th, 12th, and 13th. I would just say if there's any possible way that you don't need to go back, you should probably figure that out, because it's kind of like think about it like this. Think about like your favorite tune ever, or like a tune that you're hearing for the first time. It's just like the best thing you've ever heard in your life. And it's like getting to the build up part, and it's building up, and you're like literally about to just absolutely shit your pants in the best way possible. And it builds up and it's about to drop, and then it just turns off. That's what it would be like to leave on the 11th. So just you just don't do that to yourself if you don't have to. But the festival, so just so you know, I'll tell you how that's all going to work. The festival is on the 11th. We're all going to eat breakfast at Kalani, and then right after breakfast, we're going to get on shuttles, and they're going to take us up to the festival site, which is about a 20-minute drive, and they're going to drop us off. And then at 11 a.m., we're going to basically kick off the festival with an ecstatic dance, and it's just going to flow into a full 12 hours. Extravaganza. Then at 11 p.m. we're going to start shutting it down, and we're going to get shuttled back to Kalani, and then we're going to have a all-night experience back at Kalani, which is kind of a secret as far as what's going to actually happen, but it's going to be awesome, and you don't want to miss it. So we're going to be staying up all night. This is the night of the 11th going into the 12th. And then the 12th is going to be like a really loose kind of day, because we're going to all have been up all night. So the 12th is just going to be like a really loungy pool spa kind of chill day. And then the night of the 12th is going to be our closing ceremony bonfire. And then the morning of the 13th is departure and the last ecstatic dance. That Steve's going to play that one.
Yeah, so I'm going to play the Kalani ecstatic dance on the final Sunday. So yeah, if you can hang around for that, I'd highly recommend it. It's going to be emotional. There's no doubt about it. Wow, it's going to be probably my last ecstatic dance in Hawaii as well. My last one to play. Plus the end of the retreat. I mean, hell, I'm really crying just thinking about it. So yeah, it's going to be awesome.
All right, so Ryan Stack is asking, I use 3 pieces of gear, Electreb 2, EMX1, and Chaos Pad 3. Would you recommend I bring these? Or would it detract from what I can learn in Ableton? Yeah, bring all the toys, man. And you live in Hawaii too, right? So it's not like you're going to have to be like shipping all this stuff. It's the more the merrier. It's going to be super fun and just have lots of toys to play with. And there's going to be a lot of jam sessions. That's going to be a really big focus this year. We're going to have a proper studio set up with multiple sets of monitors and stations people can plug in and get linked up and jam. It's going to be great. So bring all your stuff. If you don't end up using it, then no big deal. But you don't want to show up and then be like, oh, I wish I brought the thing.
If it makes a cool noise, bring it. We'll use it.
All right, so Dan Arcturus says, do you guys suggest a push 2? The answer is yes, 110%. Absolutely. Everybody should ultimately get a push whenever you can.
You won't regret it. It's like it's so tactile.
It turns Ableton into an instrument, like a real instrument, not a point and click programming thing. It's a flipping instrument, right?
It's like a yeah. It was really changed the game. It changed my whole relationship to music and everything, you know. And we'd highly recommend it.
Yeah.
There will be lots of push 2s there, so if you absolutely can't get one, you'll still be able to get a shot on one while you're there, you know. But yeah, if it's within your budget and you're serious about
another alternative. Another alternative kind of setup that could be as awesome. I would say, if you had to pick something else for whatever reason, I would probably get a really compact MIDI keyboard, like one of those like $60 little like one octave keyboards or whatever. And then also, I think even those sometimes have knobs on them. And then the other thing is the MIDI Fighter Twister for knobs. So that would give you, like, you'd get a lot of mileage out of those two things. But you definitely want something that's tactile.
So the key thing, I mean, the thing, you know, if you're using Ableton, like, and it's not a push 2, I mean, you want something that has like the little blue hand feature, you know about this? So like, it's the software that comes with the controller that means that whatever device you select on the screen is the one that's controlled, okay? Because quite a few people, they came with some other controllers and they're just getting frustrated because they have to hard map all the controls, and then they play with it for a while, and then they want to control another sound. They have to like undo all the hard mappings and redo them, and it's just really clunky. So let's say the push and the APC40 and things like that, they will just take control of whatever the selected device is. You don't need to do any hard mapping.
I think it's called auto mapping, right?
That are I think that's what it's called in Novation. So like the Launchpad and the Novation stuff, they have this auto map software that comes with it, and it has like a little blue hand thing. But I think some of them it's like blue hand thing. So if you do get a controller, try to get one that supports that.
The key is anything that kind of is like officially supports Ableton is going to have that feature probably. If it has knobs and it's like an official Ableton made instrument, kind of like the APC stuff or whatever, you're going to be fine. The Novation 49 key, I don't know if that would do auto mapping, but yeah, you know, bringing a 49 keyboard on the airplane. Yeah. But yeah, I would definitely get a compact keyboard that can fit in your bag.
I've got a few little devices and stuff that I'll bring with me as well, just to share around, like little MIDI keyboards and things.
Yeah, there's usually an abundance of gear, and there's always going to be what you need if you don't have it. It's obviously you don't want to rely on that, but chances are, even if you just show up with your computer and that's it, you'll probably be okay.
Okay, Ryan's just asking about project plugins and which, is there any that we use in every project file? Well, honestly, man, like as I said, Live 10's been a bit of a game changer. I'm using so much of just live instruments now, Ableton instruments, that I'm not using as many third-party plugins as I used to. But the ones we've been mostly using in these retreats are like Serum, because it's really powerful and transparent and affordable. I was going to recommend these if you want a free bundle of really good effects plugins. Check out the Melda free bundle. It's really good. Whole lot of phasers and flangers and auto pans and yeah, just lots of cool sort of basic effects. But yeah, in terms of synthesizers and samplers, I mean, Andy uses a lot of contact instruments, you know, so like the native instrument stuff, always good, you know, Razor, Massive, Reactor, these kind of things, probably going to be in use quite a lot at the retreat. But yeah, for my personal like workshops, I'm going to try and just stick to Ableton and probably Serum and maybe just a few other things as much as possible. But
yeah, for myself personally, my go-to stuff, as Steve said, is I use Omnisphere a lot. I like stuff that has a more organic, kind of natural sound to it. So yeah, Omnisphere, Serum. And another thing that I use all the time, and it works particularly well with my kind of style of jamming in particular, is using realistic drum libraries. So the one that I tend to be my go-to is Addictive Drums, but any drum library like Native Instruments, Studio Drummer, anything like that will work just fine as long as it is a sort of like natural acoustic kit with dynamics and different articulations. Because I'll be showing you guys how to set up I did those tutorials showing how to set up a finger drumming template, but once you guys really get a grip on this, it'll totally change your life in a really good way.
Yeah. And yeah, but it's worth also mentioning that like there's like heaps of free multi-sample drum kits come with Live 10 as well. I've been really impressed.
On that note, just something to realize about that, you can't access those on the trial. Just so you know, you can't you can't download any of the packs with the trial.
Right, okay.
They make you buy it first. But yeah, there is some really nice, decent sounding kits in the built-in Live 10 stuff that's totally sufficient for what we're talking about. But yeah, the key thing I want to say is if you have some sort of organic sounding drum kit device, whatever it might be, that's perfect. There's a lot you can do with it. And then, yeah, I like to use a lot of contact libraries, like just natural instruments, sampled instruments, things like that. And then just processing the bark out of them.
Yeah, so you know, if you saw our webinar series, we kind of like broke down the sort of elements of music using the elements of alchemy, you know, into sort of rhythm, you know, basically rhythm, bass, melody, and dynamics, you know, and so yeah, I say like come prepared to make rhythms, you know, so come with some drum kits, some drum samples, some loops, you know, have stuff purely for making rhythm, have synthesizers for making bass, and then for your melodies, whatever is your inspiration, you know. Yeah, as I say, Andy gets all these like beautiful natural world instruments through Contact. You know, I like using like, you know, Reactor and weird synthesizers and Razor and stuff, and getting all these weird harmonic sounds. And yeah, whatever your melodic expression is, just make sure you come with some tools to do that. But you'll be exposed to a lot while you're there. You know, there'll be a lot of people sharing stuff. So, you know, you can expect you're going to get stocked up on samples and tools as well while you're there. And dynamics, which is effects. Okay, so if you got basically some ways of making rhythms, ways of making bass, ways of making melodies, and ways of making effects, you're dialed in. You're good to go.
Yeah. Again, I want to remind you guys too. In the prep email we sent, go get those elephant packs. I mean, that's going to get you. You could just get those, and you could actually be fine with just that stuff. It's got everything you need, pretty much.
Geometry is asking about bringing an extra hard. I mean, yeah, you know, definitely bring an extra hard drive or something. I mean, you know, because there's going to be quite a lot of us, you know, potentially like 75 or so. You know, there will be Wi-Fi, but it's going to be slow with that many people. And And what we find is that like sharing stuff over Wi-Fi is just not practical in this kind of an environment. So by all means, bring USB sticks, bring hard drives, bring ways of sharing, data other that don't rely on network.
Yeah, there's lots of hard drives going to get passed around. That's for sure. Any other questions?
How are we doing then? So that's been an hour. Is there any other burning questions out there? I
have a question.
Suggestions or?
I have a question.
Anyone need any help?
Are you guys all ready to get your freaking minds blown?
I am. Yeah. Again.
Every retreat feels like when as we approach the retreat, we look back and we're like, wow, cool. The last retreat was amazing, yet comparatively to our current understanding of alchemy and specifically audio alchemy, it just feels like the previous ones were just this like warm up or something. Like we didn't really know what we were doing, and now we do, and now we feel that like so strongly.
Yeah.
It just feels like our depth of understanding compared to where we were a year ago at the last retreat, it's just like night and day.
Yeah, it's and I've had this just kind of dream for a long time, because I used to go to these conferences many years ago, like 20 years ago now, or less than that, but maybe like 15 to 18 years ago, conferences when I was at university and stuff. And I loved just the whole academic conference environment. It's just all these people who are all working in the same sort of field, all getting together and sharing their work and their knowledge. I had a long time, I just had this idea of doing something like that for music. And I'm really just pleased that the Audio Alchemy is evolving into that thing. I'm really freaking stoked. I'm just gonna say thank you to Andy for just being like an absolute champ throughout all of this. I could not have done any of this without, I'd probably, just be teaching people one-on-one still, but like Andy's really helped to take, what I've been teaching and offering and make it into this, this whole community thing, Audio Alchemy, and these amazing events. Like, so yeah, thanks, bro, for just like being an absolute champ. It's
wouldn't want to be doing anything else. in it to win it.
It's gonna be amazing.
So also, just as a little heads up, we're not gonna do it in Hawaii next year. I know that maybe some of you knew that, but Steve's visa expires soon, and him and his family are moving back to Scotland. So we're gonna do it in Europe next year. We haven't figured out where, but the goal is to rent a castle for 2 weeks and do it there. So if you guys have any leads on a castle that could accommodate 100 people, let us know. I mean, it can be done totally. Like, I mean, it's very common. Like, I mean, growing up in Scotland, it's very common for people to rent castles for, weddings and, events and things like that. It's like there's castles all over the place, and most of the time they're sitting empty, and they cost a lot of money to maintain. So, I think we'd have no problem getting a castle. It seems fitting too to do an alchemy retreat in a castle. Just is kind of like, that's gonna work.
It does, and a really old building. I think, that'd be really good. So next year, we'll do it in Europe. There's also still some possibility of doing an Australia one. I know they're keen for us out there. So we have that, but I'll be reapplying for my visa, of course, to re-enable my my travel to the US for another 3 years, or maybe 10 if I'm lucky. And getting
Yeah,
future retreats back in Hawaii
probably
as
be doing
well.
2020 in Hawaii.
So,
So it'll probably be 2 years from now.
yeah. Yeah, we got to take the show on the road.
Speaking of
Not
taking the
everyone
show on
can
the
come
road,
to Hawaii.
some super good news we're like majorly excited about. We got booked to deliver a keynote speech at Boom Festival in July. So we're doing an audio alchemy keynote at Boom. That's going to be flipping amazing. I've always wanted to go to Boom. Never even been to Europe, but we're going.
Yeah. Boom Festival. Yeah, that's going to be a big one. I think we pretty much. I mean, I've been to Boom Festival a few times, and the Liminal Village there is like a kind of presentation space. It's a huge space, and I think that it'll be kind of the largest sort of general interest audience. I mean, obviously they're all psychedelic people or psytrance people, but they're not all going to be producers, and so we're not doing a production workshop. We're really just focusing in on the sort of general interest aspect of audio alchemy, and I think we'll reach a lot of people there. I'm really thrilled to be speaking at Boom Festival. That's a big deal.
Yep.
Yeah. I'm also DJing there. I'll be playing the chill out stage. I'm closing the chill out stage on the last day of the festival. So
prime time.
I'm closing it, baby. Yeah, it's gonna be good. And the chill out stage at Boom is not like a chill out stage at other places. I mean, it's a huge stage.
I mean, not
basically, when they say chill, they mean anything except trance. Anything except trance is chill.
Less than 130 BPM.
No, the chill tent absolutely goes off at Boom. It's amazing.
All right. Yeah.
So Boom, and then and we'll we hope to get our European location sort of tied up by then as well. So maybe we can sort of announce that to people at that time. That's sort of end of July. So it's going to be a really busy few months. We got a lot going on. I
don't know
what else to say, man.
Get on the action items. If you're coming to the retreat, or if you're actually either way, just join our Discord group. It's for everybody. In the Discord server, we have a private channel just for retreat participants, so that we have kind of a private place to chat and connect. But the Discord server overall is open to everybody. We're always there. We're always hanging out. It's the easiest place to reach us, and we're definitely going to be focusing more there. Like I said, we have a Facebook group, but we're just not that inspired to be on Facebook these days. So it'll still exist for a while, but we don't know. We might it might not. But the Discord group is definitely a great place to be. So here's the link again for that, just in case you guys. Just in case you guys need it.
Ryan's mentioning Steam. Yeah, I mean, we love Steam. We do. I guess what we found is that though, it seems to be ideally suited for long form blog content, and that's where we've had the most success on Steam, and where we see others having the most success is these kind of longer blogs, which are great because I love writing long blog content. But it's what we've started to notice is like each social network has like an art form on its own, with a particular, people are there for a particular reason. And sometimes we just kind of like spray things across all these social networks and and hope for the best. But they're obviously very specific. Like, one thing I learned recently, I saw some research that was showing that like people just don't like to listen to things on Facebook generally. About 85% of all the videos on Facebook are watched with the sound off. And of course, there's no way to actually share an audio clip or a song directly into the Facebook newsfeed either. So actually, the vast majority, like we're talking billions of people, engage with Facebook silently, right? They're not looking to listen to things on Facebook. And when yeah, so like I posted a podcast interview the other day, and it was just like, you know, nothing. Like nobody interacted with it at all. It's like, you know, it's just interesting, you know. Whereas if you take something like SoundCloud or Anchor or dSound or places like that, then everyone is there with the purpose of listening. You know, they're looking for something to listen to. But with Facebook, people are looking for, you know, faces, you know, things to read, things to watch, and not really looking to use their ears. So it's just worth keeping things like that in mind. You know, it's just as we trial these different social networks, you know, we start to see like how they work, and each is its own art form and its own type of perception. You know, I see Facebook now as more like a kind of like newspaper, or like a kind of classified ads, or like a community billboard or something like that. You know, it's just like, yeah, if you need to like tell everybody about something that you're doing, then, you know, post it there. But yeah, Instagram and Steam and yeah, SoundCloud and all these other ones, they all have their own niche, their own purpose, and yeah, you got to use them all, you know, as a musician.
All right, guys. Thanks for hanging out with us. And I'm just gonna assume there's no more questions. If you have a last one, now is your golden opportunity. Otherwise, you can just send us an email or something.
Yeah, we'll be here. We're going to be full steam ahead on this for the next month now. So just reach out and let us know if you have any questions or anything you'd like to ask, or, you know, whatever.
Emails
we're here.
Good. And also, like, for quick responses, like Steve and I are always on Discord. We use that to communicate between each other as our primary communication tool. So like, you could always just send either of us a direct message on there, and we'll probably reply within minutes. So,
yeah.
Sweet.
Okay.
Have a good day, guys. Bye-bye.
All right, guys. We'll speak to you soon. Bye-bye.